Welcome to the No Weapon Productions presentation of A Royal Murder, Episode 8, the finale. Prince Henry has been murdered, and one of these 6 people killed him. Is it William Beneford, who's recently learned he's Prince Henry's illegitimate son? What about Her Royal Highness, Princess Penelope, who discovered her father in a compromising situation? It may be the beautiful and provocative Cassandra Bright, whose sister died because of the prince. Or is it Cassandra's brother, Theo Bright, a police officer who wants to protect one sister and avenge the other? Perhaps it's the elegant Jessica Tanchel, who was forced to give up the son fathered by Prince Henry. It could even be the mysterious Inspector Phoebe Smythe, who seems to know everybody's secrets, but clearly has secrets of her own.
Oh, I have such a headache over this thing. Oh, I have so many regrets. I regret giving you up, William. I should never have been persuaded to do that.
Well, I don't regret it. I love my parents very much. I couldn't have been raised by better people.
Yes, they are wonderful. Why did I continue working for that horrible man?
That's a good question.
One for which I don't have a good answer. Why did I choose the palace over my own son?
And then you chose to participate in that blackmail scheme? What was that about? How is it that people can convince you to do such awful things?
Cassandra, you nearly convinced me to do an awful thing.
Well, yeah, but there was a good reason.
There's always a good reason.
He killed my sister, William.
No, he didn't. Her choices killed her. As much as I hate to admit that, I realize it now. Tiana had a choice, just like Jessica did. They both just made bad choices.
How can you say that? He forced her.
He didn't. He was a horrible man, no doubt. But he wasn't even in the States when she went to that abortion clinic. She wasn't forced.
But she was. She felt like she had no choice. He may not have held a gun to her head, but she was emotionally forced.
Just like I was.
No. Don't you compare yourself to my sister. Don't you dare. You two are nothing alike. You chose your fate. She was forced to choose hers. Why are you looking at me like that? She was forced. She was. And so was I. I was forced to do what I did to avenge her death.
What exactly was that, Cassandra? What did you do?
I killed him. I killed Prince Henry.
Where are you going, Your Highness?
I just had to get out of that room. All of those guilty people in there. All of those people who wanted my father dead.
Including you?
I'm sure I don't know what you mean.
I'm sure you do.
What are you two doing out here? Plotting your escape?
Oh, you have some nerve, Phoebe.
What are you talking about?
You're the queen of plots and plans.
Huh, I like that. I'm the queen. It has a nice ring to it, doesn't it?
You are truly unhinged. Why did I ever listen to you?
This is the missing piece of the puzzle. You two were working together, but I don't understand. You love the prince. Why did you stab him?
You stabbed him?
I did no such thing.
Inspector, I saw you.
What?
You picked up the knife from his food tray and stabbed him. Why?
I didn't.
You did. I have the knife you used to stab him. I took it as evidence. Now tell me why.
Because he said he wouldn't marry me. He said he never loved me. I was supposed to be the princess.
No, you weren't. That was never part of the plan.
It was part of my plan. You were supposed to kill the queen so she couldn't object to our marriage.
But he was already married to my mother.
Wait a minute. You two killed the queen?
She did.
I did not.
It was your idea.
But the queen was your grandmother. Why would you go along with that?
I wouldn't.
She would, and she did. Her grandmother was going to strip her of her royal title and her inheritance. She was going to lose everything.
It is highly inappropriate for you to summon me to your home, Inspector Smythe. What is this about?
Well, Your Royal Highness, I was simply looking out for your best interest. You see, some information has come to my attention, some video footage, actually, and it is also highly inappropriate.
What exactly are you talking about?
You may not be aware of this, but it has been my job to watch out for the royal family since before you were born.
Go on.
To do that, I had several cameras installed in the palace.
I am aware that the palace is under video surveillance, Inspector.
Yes, there are the official cameras, and then there are the cameras that I placed. I noticed you took great pains to avoid the official cameras, but you didn't avoid mine because you didn't know they were there.
What exactly did you see?
I saw you helping yourself to the Queen's jewels. At first, I thought it was innocent. Perhaps you planned to wear them to a special event, but then you never wore them and you never returned them. Instead, you went back for more. I decided to check my other cameras to see what you did with the jewels. You carried them out of the palace in a little case, a case that did not come back with you when you returned later that evening.
What do you plan to do with this information, Inspector?
Well, of course, I report to the Queen. Upon finding out this information, well, this sort of egregious behavior means that you'll be stripped of your title and cut off from any royal inheritance.
She can't do that.
Oh, but she can, and she will.
She can't. I can't lose my princess title, and I need that money.
I'm curious. What do you need the money for, Princess? Surely you have a generous allowance.
That is none of your concern.
That is very intriguing, and I'm certain that I will get to the bottom of it as well.
I am certain you will not.
Well, I'm certain I won't if you're stripped of your title. You'll be excommunicated and that would be a shame, wouldn't it? But there is a way to stop the Queen before she writes you out of royal history.
And what is that?
Well, if she were to come to an untimely death, perhaps in her sleep, then your secret would remain just that.
Are you suggesting that I kill my grandmother?
I'm not suggesting anything. I'm just pointing out that if she was to pass suddenly in her sleep from, let's say, old age, you would not have to be concerned about your title or your wealth.
And how would she pass on suddenly in her sleep without arousing suspicion?
There are untraceable compounds. I could provide you with a list if you'd like. You could have a cup of tea together and, well, we don't have to spell it out.
But if the Queen died, my father would not become king. My Uncle Patrick would.
Mm-hmm. He's fairly old too, isn't he?
Inspector, are you suggesting that I poison him too?
As I said, I'm not suggesting anything. We're simply having a conversation. Besides, everyone can't die in their sleep. That would certainly look suspicious.
Perhaps an accident. That would be unfortunate and unexpected.
It certainly would, Princess. It certainly would. And your father would then be king, and you would be in line to be queen upon his passing.
Queen.
Yes. First, we must deal with the Queen.
So, you killed her?
I.
And then you killed your father. Why?
She just said she stabbed him. What makes you think I killed him?
Because Prince Henry called you after the inspector stabbed him. I heard him say, "Penelope, help me, I'm dying." And then you must have said, "I know," because he said, "What do you mean you know? What did you do? Penelope, what have you done to me?"
You must have poisoned him like you poisoned the Queen.
Shut your mouth, woman!
He was supposed to be my husband. How could you poison him?
How could you stab him?
That was a crime of passion. It was understandable.
You two stop. Just stop. If it wasn't for me, you will both be in jail right now.
What does that mean?
I stopped him from calling the police.
Stopped him? How?
He was on the floor when I came in. He'd already lost a lot of blood. Then he turned and saw me standing there. He tried to stand up. He said, "Who are you? What are you doing in my room?" He started to reach for the phone again, but I stopped him. I hit him in the head with the butt of my gun.
So you killed him?
I don't think so. I moved him from the floor to the bed. I laid him on his stomach. He was still breathing a little. I think. I'm sure he bled out within a few minutes. If your stab wounds didn't kill him, then your poison did. Or
What? Wait a minute. You told your sister that his throat had been cut. Did you do that too?
no, I didn't.
But you saw who did.
It was that Cassandra woman. I knew it. I knew she was a murderer.
I guess it takes one to know one. Let's go back in the room and finish this. After you, ladies. Yeah. Let me speak to the chief.
So, you found them?
Yeah. It wasn't hard. I believe we all have some things we need to confess.
I am not going to confess to anything.
Yes, you are.
Theo, what's going on?
We really do have a room full of murderers here, sis.
I told you I am not a murderer.
Neither am I.
Well, everyone else in the room is.
What?
Why don't we start at the beginning, Your Highness?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'll tell them. She killed the queen.
What?
She did. She poisoned her. It was actually my brilliant idea. I needed her dead so that I could marry Prince Henry.
You truly are crazy.
Your Highness, why would you kill your own grandmother?
Because I told her that the queen was going to strip her of her title and inheritance.
What do you mean you told me that? Isn't it true?
I have no idea whether it was true or not.
But you said she'd find out about...
The theft, yes. It was my job to let her know about that. You are quite the royal thief, Your Highness. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized that your thievery could work in my favor.
You killed the queen over money?
You gave your child away and blackmailed the prince for money. I know you're not judging.
I may have made some foolish choices, but at least I didn't kill anyone.
Let's get back to who killed Prince Henry. So, you and the princess devised a scheme to kill the queen. Then, you and Jessica plotted to blackmail the prince so that you could marry him. Is that right?
Oh, yes.
Well, I didn't know about your blackmail scheme.
And I didn't know about your murderous scheme. So I guess we're even. My head is killing me.
This is giving me a headache too. But I have to know, what happened with Prince Henry?
I'll tell you. I saw it all. And what I didn't see, I just found out in the hallway.
Theo,
Let me do this, Cassandra.
Theo, no, you don't understand.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
For crying out loud, why don't you just let her tell you who the murderer is?
I killed
I
him.
killed him.
He killed him.
Wait, what?
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 She poisoned him, and you cut his throat.
Well, she stabbed him, and he hit him in the head with his gun.
Hey,
Wait a minute. What is
hey,
going
hey,
on
I
here?
lost track. One murder at a time.
All
please.
murder?
Look.
I don't understand.
Hey,
I don't understand.
look, I'm taking you all into custody. I already called the chief of police. I confessed my part in this mess, and I told him what all of you had done. William and Jessica, I guess you get to be the witness.
Oh, but they won't.
Don't make me shoot you, princess.
For heaven's sake, put your gun away. I've already done everything I'm going to do.
What does that mean?
You already drank the water.
Oh. Your headache is not because of this drama, Jessica. It's because the princess poisoned you with the same poison she used on her father and her grandmother.
What? Why would you poison me? I don't even know you.
Because alive, you would have a rightful claim to the throne and to the queen's fortune. I am not sharing my inheritance with you, brother. And you will never sit on the throne.
Neither will you.
You poisoned me?
You were a loose end. You knew about my brother.
So do I.
Yes, but you're a murderer. No one cares what you know.
What about King Patrick? Prince Henry wasn't even next in line for the throne.
King Patrick will soon suffer a tragic accident, and then I will be next in line.
I don't know who's crazier, you or you, Inspector.
She is.
You did all of this for what?
Because I could.
Well, the police are on their way to arrest you.
They will not arrest me. I have diplomatic immunity. I can do what I please. I can take what I want. I can get away with murder. I am a royal.